Welcome to American Fight Stories. And this is American Fight Stories with Debar. And we are challenging all Americans to be better Americans. And we are showcasing some excellent American fighters. And we have two awesome women that I'm thankful to know. I met years ago, but it was not under good circumstances, okay? So these are family members of homicide locally and other tragedies, disappearance, and likely murdered family member. So we have a lot of raw emotions coming up, but also we have a lot of hope that we can reignite some interest and possibly get a little bit of justice for somebody. Okay. We normally pray at the end, but I'm going to pray at the beginning. Okay. Because we all going to need some Jesus to get through this, right?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
All right. I'm going to start. Thank you, Lord, for this day. I thank you for keeping these two women together despite everything that the enemies sent against them and their family that they love so much. I thank you for your strength that's carried them. I just thank you to see them again and that they still have your light within them despite the pain. And I ask that you just help us tell this story the way that it needs to be told and help us to get some justice on this case. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. So today we have Bridget Manuel and we have Michelle Manuel. Okay. And so we've had several issues that we may be talking about today. Okay. The first one that I met you on, is this the first one?
Well, I met you before that.
Okay.
I met you back with Sonia.
Okay.
A couple of years before that happened.
So we have Sonia that she's fighting brain cancer right now. So a friend introduced, and so that's how I met Bridget. Yeah. And then we had occasion to talk about the first. Is this the big tragedy, or is there other tragedies is this the first one?
Oh no, there's many. But this is the one after we met.
This is the one after we met. So I met her. The first tragedy I was really aware of is a very precious person named Carl Manuel. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then what was the next one?
Morgan.
Okay. And last name on that one?
Manuel Smith.
Okay. The next one?
My dad, Charles Manuel.
Killed brother to Carl Manuel. Mm-hmm. Okay. He was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
in the Arca Butler shooting.
Okay. And then, is there another one?
No.
Okay. So
we're not anticipating.
We may be talking about three different interconnected stories, and they may kind of get... Okay. So I've got Carl Manuel. I've got Morgan Manuel, and I've got Charles Manuel. Okay.
Well, and if I may say, I really am not at liberty to talk about Morgan.
Okay.
Right at the moment.
Sure.
On the record.
But they've lost.
Yeah, but it was definitely a tragedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on Carl Manuel, could you discuss what was good about Carl? Who was Carl?
There's too much to say about that.
He was...
all of our family loved him. He taught the boys how to do construction work. He was, I don't know, he was just...
You're his daughter?
Yes. The love of my life.
Her daddy?
Yeah.
Daddy and daddy's girl?
Yeah.
Right here.
And the only girl.
And y'all lived...
y'all
lived on the same land, is that... Or pretty much. Mm-hmm. Y'all have... Family land is about how many acres? I don't know.
Those guys back in the day when we were just little girls bought that land together. Well, her daddy went down there first, and they bought that, and that's just where we all grew up. Even though we lived somewhere else, we still had home there.
No, it was family land.
Right.
Y'all rode 4-wheelers, and y'all
Yes.
had I remember before that big times down at the Manuel
Oh, yeah.
Manuel place, and there was 2 brothers, Carl's Michelle's daddy, and Charles was Bridget's daddy. Okay, so all good times.
Yes, we did have some really good times.
And then what happened? And
Uncle Carl came up missing one day. He was older,
okay,
and
he
had a little girlfriend
so
that
like
lived,
79 or something.
78, yes.
78 years old.
and there was a lady that lived right up the top of the hill
Okay.
from us, and her husband had passed away. And so Uncle Carl and Miss Mary were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
And so he would go up there. He would try to walk because he couldn't hardly walk, but he would hop-tail it with his little walker up that hill, and it's a pretty good size hill
Yeah.
to get to her house
Aw.
every day.
And they drank coffee together, right? So they drank coffee together on the porch or whatever, just enjoying company
What
with
they
2
had left of their
elderly
life here.
people.
Yeah.
And then one day he just came up missing.
Just vanished.
There's been suspicions about what happened to him,
sure,
to her.
yeah.
So what do we know?
Well,
what proof do we know?
there's really not a lot of proof. There's
Okay.
a lot of and you got to think too is there's these younger generation that a lot of them are on drugs.
Okay.
Okay, my property used to be a place where they used to go do drugs. The property that I bought after Uncle Carl come up missing.
Is that
they
near
would-
Uncle
mhm,
Carl's?
That's at the very end of that
Does it
road up in the
border?
cove.
Okay. Is it kind of on the family land? Okay.
Well, it's across from the family
Okay.
land that was already there. Our whole family had the end of that cove at one time anyway until
Right.
So it's, I bought that one piece of property nobody else could have. And I finally got it after, and Uncle Carl would have been the happiest one, just to say, because he wouldn't let you cut a tree one down. But, a lot of the kids nowadays, the ones doing drugs, they're hearing all these little things, or some of them that have been involved are starting to talk a little bit
Okay.
to other people that are in this lifestyle,
Okay.
and that's where I have gotten a lot of my information from. My daughter, Jamie, has really brought forth a lot of information that we don't know for sure that it's
Okay.
fact, but there's things being said, and there's just these names keep coming up every single time you turn around.
So let's back up just a minute. I'll call him Uncle Carl because
Okay.
that's how I've
Our
everybody
monkey
does.
uncle.
and when this happened, and we went out together with a news crew and did a story on it. And or I didn't do the story; I was there with you guys. But and so every time I drive by that exit, I think about you guys. I always, where's Carl? Where's he at? So I can only imagine and only have just a sadness, that you guys still don't have justice on this case. But what year was that when it happened?
2014.
2014. So here we are over 10 years later.
And still nothing.
And still he's considered missing or disappeared. What do they?
He's considered nothing.
Okay. He doesn't even have a status
No.
legally within we have missing posters, but he's not.
Right. He was never considered, I think, anything because of the when it first happened, it was treated as he walked off, okay? Just disappeared, but it was never labeled as anything. But when they brought in those dogs went to a certain spot in the road. Well, he left from that spot.
Okay.
He had to leave somehow. He didn't drive. He was he was old. He had dementia.
79 years old.
And
he
the thing
was on
was,
a
he
walker.
could barely walk up that.
Yeah.
I mean, he would walk that hill to get to her, and there was always some stealing and going on. They were really on drugs bad at that property there, and they were fighting over tools. And so that's where it all started when he come up missing. And Gary, I'm not sure if Gary was looking for him. Someone was looking for him. Daddy had him staying down there with him that last day that we seen him, and then after that, he went to Miss Mary's, and we just never seen him again. He was just gone.
Yeah.
So we felt like that they had something to do with it because they were fighting over tools.
They did have something.
And
to do
they
Or at
admitted
least knew something.
they admitted, I believe, on the
Yeah,
interview with
mhm.
the news crew.
Yeah.
That
They were fighting over
the
remote
guy
controls.
admitted that the last time they saw each other, they were fighting over tools or something like that.
And well, they thought that he thought that they were stealing his tools. Daddy would only give him so much money, and then Daddy would buy him cigarettes. But he would sit there and count his cigarettes to make sure nobody took one. He had dementia.
Because they stole his check about 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they stole, but they would steal all of his cigarettes,
Who
too.
stole his check? The
sons of Miss Mary.
the people at Miss Mary's house. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So there's been a alleged speculation that the son of Miss Mary is the one who possibly.
Well, no, not necessarily. We just know that they knew something.
Okay.
We didn't know at the time who done anything, and it wasn't really speculation that they actually done it. It was just that we knew they knew something because that's where he come up missing from.
The last place he was seen.
And they were fighting over the remote controls and the tools.
And the tools that he had. Okay. All right. So what else about this? Why isn't this case solved? What have you been told? What's the frustration?
Well, I think it hasn't been solved because it was put on the back burner so long ago. When all this first happened, we kept trying to tell them, she's got on his hat, she's got on his shirt, and there's no way that man would let her have that hat.
Who?
The girls, the daughter, the wife, and the daughter of one of the Stacks' boys. Okay. So they knew something. We knew they knew something.
They had his clothes,
right? They had on his shirt and his hat, but no one would listen to what we had to say because we're peon stupid people at the end of Walmart. They make us feel like we're just stupid little peons at the end of a road, and they don't have to pay any attention to us. Well, they have to pay attention.
You're in the county.
They should.
You're not in the city. You're in the county.
We're in the county, and we're in a rural area.
Okay.
But they were trying to accuse one guy that they kept saying that had something. Somebody said that who was it? They seen Uncle Carl in the middle of the truck that pulled out of the road. Is that?
I don't know.
Anyway, and I can't say that name. But Jerry Birmingham was apparently the one driving this vehicle, and a Jamie Mooney. Well, Jamie Mooney's in prison. These are two bad dudes. They're not good people.
And we got people that would be willing to talk to the Tate County Police Department if they would go pick them up and take them to the police department and question them.
And they have, and there is so many people that have said the same thing. The girl that was there was a girl with them. This is happens to be Rocky Rory, his niece, that was bloody from all get out when she got home, and she stayed in a room for like 3 or 4 days, scared to death because she didn't know what to do. But they didn't know what had happened, what she had done. But this is when she come home. This is what she looked like, and this is what she did. So
you guys are still getting a lot of, even 11 years later, you're getting a lot of reports.
Getting a lot more now than I have ever.
Yeah. So even from younger people, children or teenagers at the time, they're now older and talking.
And you have to put yourself kind of in that loop a little bit and talk to people. And you have to be the kind of person that you can actually talk to. You can't just be a very defensive kind of blab, you know what I'm talking about? You have to really listen, because some of these people that are addicted and that sort of thing, they just need somebody to listen to them. Yeah. They have a lot to say. Yeah. And if you listen, you'll get a lot. Without judgment or without, and without messing their high up, right? Right. And I'm going to tell you. You kind of messing the party up when you're talking about Carl Manuel, right? So, well, when you get over onto one side of this, that's over in our area, but a couple roads over, there's a lot that went on over at those houses over there. With Carl or associated with Carl? Associated with Uncle Carl. There's people that are willing to talk, but see, we gave that sheriff's department a number and a name to call, and they still to this day have not set up an appointment with her. Okay. We've turned in bones, shoes, shirt, all come from, it looked like from a makeshift grave up under a house that was burned down. Well, it was a pair of shoes. It was a shirt. It was like a jacket, a wind jacket or something. And then it was a bone. And they tried to tell me it was a chicken bone. And like I told him, don't undermine me. I've cooked a chicken before. Yeah. I know what a chicken bone looks like. And that was no chicken bone. He threw it in the garbage instead of turning it into our corner. Okay. So I spoke to the corner for an hour in Walmart parking lot over this. And this is not cool. This is not good, because it makes me feel like he's some old man that lived at the end of a road, and he does not matter to them.
But
only
he's
thing that-
everything to you, his
Right.
family.
Right. We
Yeah,
loved him. And I
and
promised my daddy, before
he's
my
your-
daddy was killed, I told him, we're going to find him so we can put him in his resting place. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, it pisses you off when you have something in your sights and, you know, you get these little pieces and your bits and you call them every month and you try to find out, have y'all heard anything new? And then all of a sudden they just stop communication with you any whatsoever.
Okay.
So, you know, you're at this point of what do you do? Where do you go from here? Because he's still missing.
He's still gone.
We still
what are
have
you
no
doing?
resolution.
And they
Right.
ain't questioning anybody. You know,
They
not
had
going-
questioned some people back in the day when it first happened, and they said they had done some lie detector tests on some people, but none of them could pass or fail a lie detector test because they were high.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that works, you know, but it's amazing that everybody was high.
Yeah.
So nothing they said was
Admissible.
Incredible,
Or,
yeah.
What are you thinking, Michelle?
I
What
don't
do
know.
you
The whole
think?
thing just pisses me off, to be
You just
honest
get
with
mad.
you. And in Tate County,
Okay.
I have no respect for Tate County Police
Have y'all
Department.
talked to the new sheriff? I know that.
When he got-
Is
he don't
trying?
impress me none either.
Well, the
Okay.
thing is when he was running, you know, Victor Bird, they had their little voters thing going on, and Victor was, I guess, I don't know if he was winning or not. I don't know how. I can't tally those up. That's
Okay.
what I heard.
So
So I blasted him on Facebook.
We're trying on this episode to kind of keep the names down to a low. Because
okay.
I won't be able
Okay.
to track.
And you can edit
Yeah.
that.
But I know they may slip out or something, but we're just trying
Well,
to.
the chief deputy,
Okay.
the chief deputy there, which had a lot to do with this. He was also the detective on Uncle Carl's case.
Okay.
He was also the one that got a SD card that was turned in that sounded like Uncle Carl from a guy right up the road and him begging for help. And we think that this come from the phone
like a
was
game cam or a
it was an SD card from a flip phone
from a telephone
where somebody was recording.
But
and
he don't
a
know
girl,
my daddy. How does he know what my dad sounds like? So why
There-
are you going to sit there and say that that wasn't him? It doesn't
Well, he
sound
says that it wasn't, but my daughter's the one that turned it in, and she listened to it, and she said that it is Uncle Carl.
sounds like him.
But but the thing was I asked him over and over, can I hear what's on that SD card? And he wouldn't let me, but it was in his pocket. It was, I think I want to say 3 times that he's had that in his, why is he carrying it around in his pocket, first of all?
Yeah.
You know, but there's just been, from the very get-go with him, it's been nothing but trouble, and this case has been nothing to them. As far as the new sheriff, he set up an appointment. He said, we're going to set an appointment as soon as I get in seat. So, because I had called him before he even got sheriff, and I said, look, if you want to win this election, here you go. And I said, but there's one thing
We
I
need
want.
some
There's
justice.
one thing I want.
We need some justice.
I want justice for my Uncle Carl.
That's right.
And so when he got seat, he said, well, let me get my guys in row, all their ducks in a row, and then I'll get back in touch
And
with
he
you.
brought good people with him.
Sure he did. He's got
He
a lot of
did.
great people.
And he's got
but he hadn't done nothing either.
he's got the DeSoto County people.
But he never did. I had to call
Okay.
him how many times to set that appointment up. Me and her finally did go in and talk to him. Nothing's ever been said.
Okay.
It's almost like they just don't want to deal with this case for some reason.
Yeah.
And I can't say that it's the new guys in town, but I know the older ones, the
Yeah,
other
is it
before.
So the question is it I mean, we definitely we're missing Carl. We got to have him. And then there's concerns about mishandling of potential evidence.
Well, he said that the new chief deputy coroner had taken that file for cold case, and she's not even doing cold case files.
Okay.
So none at all. The
where's
coroner said
file?
that himself.
So where's the file?
That's my question.
Right.
Where's this file? Where's this SD card? Because apparently where that SD card come from, and I know where it come from, it was somebody that was a drug addict, and they stole it from the guy's drawer, and then she handed it to her friend that lives in Arca Butler, and it went to my daughter. Well, my daughter took it straight to the sheriff's department, and then after that, nothing.
That's
You know?
gone.
It's gone. It's amazing.
So where's the
isn't it?
file?
Yeah. You'd like to hear it. You'd like to hear it. If there's an SD card out there
But
with
see,
some
and they never
audio
would.
on it that may or may
Right.
not be Carl, you'd like
And
to.
he had a distinctive voice. He was
Yeah.
missing some teeth, and so he just had a distinctive voice, and you could tell if that man spoke, you knew exactly who was speaking.
That's Carl Manuel. Yep. Uncle Carl.
Yeah.
So we have possibly a mishandling of evidence, or we for sure have problems with communication as victims, potential victims of the family needs answers. We need communication. We need, if you don't have any answers, tell us you don't have any answers.
Well, there's people that have reached out to say, come and question me, and they still haven't questioned.
And they still don't answer you. Okay. Do they have a cold case unit at that county?
Not that I know of. I have called.
But they might need one. I don't know.
Well, after the
they
may need one.
I'm just going to hush.
I'm not.
I'm just going to hush.
Well,
you're fine, Michelle.
And you have this drive to want to know this thing, and no one's standing behind you, and it just makes you so mad. So I can understand her wanting to cuss. You
can cuss.
No,
it's hard.
Yeah.
When you know something's been taken from you that you should still have. Maybe not today. He probably would have been too old, but it would have been nice to have an Uncle Carl and a father that died from natural causes,
he might not have meant nothing to them.
I know.
But he meant everything to me.
Here.
Oh. And if these people only knew the pain that me and my brother are going through, they would understand.
Well, they lost a brother a long time ago, too, on the road over from them. So they've had a lot of tragedy in and just their immediate family also.
But this is not going to break me. I can promise you that.
No.
And what keeps me going is knowing that if I don't get
justice,
to find out justice, God's got it. You know what I mean?
He's got it. And you've got, and there are cases that are solved. So we've got to keep fighting, because if you stop fighting, what? No justice.
I reached out to MBI, and I do not remember the guy's name, so and I can't say names right now. But I did reach out to them, and I told them that after we turned in this evidence that come from that property, and they just chunked it in the garbage, didn't even turn it into the corner. Well, that just pissed me off.
I know. I would be pissed off with you.
I'm just done now. I'm spent. But this is also one of the guys that's working on my daddy's case. And I'm like, y'all not fixing to botch up my daddy's case.
I already watched y'all do this.
And from my daddy's, I had to go in that guy's house and I found 2 cell phones and a crossbow and him loading shotgun shells with fishing weights. And they left all that behind.
Okay.
Who does that? So... You see where I'm coming from?
Okay.
So we have no faith in Tate County.
We're fixing to move into another case. We mentioned 3 cases starting the podcast off. Was first of all Carl, and we'll still talk about Carl, but we've got Carl, which is Michelle's father, and then we had another tragedy in the family that we may probably not talk about today. And then we have Bridget's father, Charles Manuel, brother to Carl Manuel. So we have one daughter that is, her father's gone, 79 years old, 11 years ago. No justice. We don't have a funeral. We've got pain, severe pain over here. And just, it's not right. It's not right.
And it'll make you melt in your spot, and
I'm so sorry that your family's going through this. And then that's also Bridget's uncle, and she spent a long time fighting for the family and being she's a warrior for sure, and maybe for a while was in a better position, maybe stronger to fight for the family as being a voice.
Sometimes when you don't have anyone standing beside you, you feel weak until you come up on a Melissa Debar.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, I appreciate you too, and it's always been to me better if I can help than to be in the position that you are.
Too.
Yeah, I try to.
I know some of your stories.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So Bridget is, while she's fighting all this stuff with Uncle Carl and justice, and I've checked in with several times over the years if we get, do we have any answers? So, I've asked, people, what about Carl Manuel? What about, You don't
get nothing.
You don't get anything. So, and then we had another family tragedy. Your father was murdered, and we have a killer. We have a defendant. So do you want to tell us what happened with your father?
I can only speak on so much of that case because it is.
Is it still pending?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I was thinking we had that resolved? Is it?
No, he hasn't been convicted. I mean, he
Okay.
is convicted.
Mhm.
He's in jail, but
Okay.
he's still in the county jail.
I gotcha.
So there's a lot that can't be said about that case.
Sure.
But there's it's just
So how
tragic.
did he die?
Richard Crum went on a shooting spree in
Okay.
Butler, Mississippi, and he killed 6 people.
Okay.
My dad happened to be going out to my Uncle George's house, which was his stepfather, and he just
Happened to be at the wrong
happened to be
place at the wrong.
Yeah.
Doing a good deed.
and he's bought
Was
this
that
guy.
is that right?
Yeah,
He was,
you know,
was
and
doing something
he
He was
positive.
he was going to help. But he was going to hold the ladder because he done got too old to do much.
Uh-huh.
He climb a ladder, but Rocky Royal was going to fix the hole in the roof, and Daddy was just going to hold the ladder,
Just hold the ladder.
just to hold the ladder.
Oh, I love that.
And
I'm
he
gonna have to
loved
ring the
Uncle
bell.
George. You know that was
I must say justice for sure, but
Yeah.
he's just, this family is a good family. These are, salt of the earth, the best of Mississippi,
they have. They worked their tails off
riding
to
4-wheelers and just,
Yeah.
living
a
life.
few of them are hell raisers, but they're really
Most of them were hell
yeah, a lot of them hell raisers.
I can't say it's the
but-
girls either. I mean,
Exactly.
We've done some
These
hell
are
raising too.
tough women. So it takes a lot to.
It's been a hard family to grow up in. That's for sure.
That's true.
It's been tough, but life is life.
That's right.
You know.
And y'all, soldiered through or fought your way through and
And my daddy loved
clawed.
his family. My
Yes.
daddy loved his family.
Mhm.
That's why they
And-
got when they got that land down there. I think to myself, this is why they got this, because they wanted everybody to be close. It was
Right.
close knit. You stay together. Everybody stick together. And
I love that. I'm gonna ring the bell again. And here you are, still together.
Right.
yes,
Yeah, you're still together.
yeah. And it's not as many anymore, but you can't do anything about that. All you can do is keep trucking and just get on with it. We have grandbabies to raise, and
That's right.
you got to find a happy place somewhere.
All right.
So how have things changed since?
Wow.
I thought I was going to be able to interview you about your father, but I'll be careful about that because
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to impinge upon the justice on
Right.
that particular
Yeah,
case.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's
But
so much.
He did. He died. We know that he died of a gunshot wound. We're
Yes.
not going to say guilt or innocence of anybody. There is somebody in jail pending, and he's charged with six murders
Well, yeah,
in one
capital.
day. When there's a murder spree,
Yeah.
and on the same day, just happened to be on the same day
yeah.
as your father. And he was holding a ladder, being a
No,
helper.
he was actually. I'm not sure what happened there.
Mhm.
He was in the middle of a road. He was not
Mhm.
holding a ladder, so
Wasn't, but
not sure.
He's a helper. He was
Yeah.
there to.
He was just there
be
to
a
do
good
something good for his
neighbor.
brother-in-law,
Yeah.
and help him with a hole in his roof and wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place. That was.
Showed up at the wrong time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, how has this changed you personally, Michelle? How are you different?
Different. I'm not as outgoing as I used to be.
Mhm.
I got a lot of problems with PTSD.
Mhm.
And that's what kicks my butt. The PTSD.
Did you have it before?
No.
But have you been able to get some help for it? Do they say
Yeah.
this is what it
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
Is it grief or is it PTSD?
Probably both.
Okay.
Because it was traumatic for me.
Right.
It was very traumatic. And I still, I have no answers.
Do you still drive by the place where he likely,
I live there.
yeah,
We're in a cove.
still live? Yeah,
I live there.
I've been out there to this place, and I've been there before, and it is kind of like at the end of the
Mhm.
road.
It's an everyday
You
thing.
got to look these people in the eye when you pass them.
So
Mhm.
you're still living on the same road, and you're having to watch. You're having to drive by the same place where your dad.
You
I'm
have
not-
no idea if one of these
and I-
guys are going to come up in the
I'm
back
not,
of your garden
I'm
and kill
not
you.
trying to squeeze this too much, but every day, every time you go to Walmart, you're reminded. It's not like,
Every time.
yeah, it's not like you just said, okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving Mississippi. I'm leaving this county that I lived in for my whole life, but I'm also having to every day drive by this
Every day.
place. So
Yeah.
it is a constant.
It's not even just when you drive by.
reminder.
It's just being in that air there
In
because
that-
you can feel it.
You
in
can
the air.
feel it.
You can feel it.
What
And
do
you
you-
know they know something. You know,
Okay.
and you know they know something.
You know that you're having to look at people that are
Yeah.
questionable about trust.
It makes
Yeah.
you want to do things that you really don't want to do.
But you're not going to do
But
that.
I'm not going to.
She's not going to.
I got grandbabies, and
you're having to raise your kids in the same area.
right, and that's my first priority right there.
You
is
don't
my
let them
grandbabies.
walk like you used
No,
to.
mm-mm.
You don't let them walk down
No,
that
they
road.
don't walk anywhere.
Nobody
you keep
walks.
them real. You keep them close. Not even out towards the woods. I mean, you know, they can't go out that far. Not mine.
So
Not either.
it changes the whole way
Yes,
that
it does.
Right,
the Manuel
Unlike us,
family.
you know, we was in the woods.
We were
Yeah.
running around on gravel
You know,
roads
and
when it was
climbing
gravel
trees.
roads. Yeah,
Boy, those are-
on 10 properties down. You know, it just didn't matter. We just had
Safe.
to run of the whole hill
Yeah,
and had a good time. You
and
know?
that's over.
over.
So there's a grief that goes with that, a grief of loss, not just absolutely for your dad, you know, worried, but also still looking. You're looking.
My thing I think about Uncle Carl is worrying about what he was thinking last. Is there somebody going to come and get me? Somebody's going to save me?
Yeah.
That haunts
How
me.
Where's my
how
help?
he-
I mean, where's my
How he died, if he do we assume or
He's
presume you
He's
believe
dead.
he's dead?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There's no
at the hands of other people? Yes, he's
Okay.
dead.
And there's supposedly 4 people, supposedly, and it's just I can't go into detail on that. I love Michelle, and I don't want to put things in her head if we don't know fact. And that's the hard part, I think, of everything is not having no kind of fact, none whatsoever, no facts. All we have is this girl dated this guy. He's in prison, but she knows a lot. She wants to talk. There's another girl he dated that wants to talk. Says that he admitted to this.
to her.
You know, there's this going on, but nobody's getting
And
questioned
then-
anymore.
And
And
nobody's
then you-
going to
They
get
don't-
any
I mean, where's the file
And
at?
then you don't even know, like, is she lying? Was he lying? Was he
Right.
saying, hey girl, let's go
Is
out?
he just somebody mad because
I
they
know.
didn't sell him some drugs
Yeah,
or something?
who
or
knows what kind of game hustle is on it?
But,
But
it's hard.
you don't believe that he's alive.
No, I know he's
Okay.
not alive.
All right.
My
So,
daddy wouldn't just vanish.
Yeah.
Wouldn't just come
Uncle
up
Carl
missing
could
just to
be a
be.
stern man.
He would be home. He's a home man, right?
Yeah, my daddy would be there.
He would
I mean,
be there.
And
my
he-
daddy's not going to
yeah.
walk off in no woods. And
He couldn't
just
walk. He couldn't
Yeah.
hardly
go
walk. I
away.
mean, not to walk
My
off somewhere
daddy
like
could
that.
walk them woods, but backwards,
Yeah.
blindfolded.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't just walk off,
No,
No.
he didn't.
and he didn't just vanish.
I believe
They
you.
done something to my dad,
Yeah.
and they need to be
And-
accountable. I
and
mean, you know, it needs to
Whether
be.
they ran over him on accident coming down that road, because it is a hill there, and if he was walking, if they
Could've.
run over him on accident, they done the worst part by putting him up in a vehicle and taking him off and then killing him the rest of the way, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it happened, but this
It
is how.
could have been an accident.
Right. Or
Yeah.
if they were trying to rob him,
Mhm.
you know, here's this old man walking down the road. Let's see what kind of money he's got so we can
Let's
get our next
mess with
fix.
him. Yeah,
because they
let's-
would go to the property that I now own to do their dope.
Mhm.
And we didn't know that until we bought the property, because I didn't live down there like this, you know,
Yeah.
every day to see this kind of thing that was going on.
You
But,
came on the weekends and had fun and
Yeah,
did the
my daddy sang
four-wheelers
music, and we had the
Yeah.
music room, and so we would all enjoy that, you know. We enjoyed it. We had
Yeah.
a good time. And when I bought that property, you know, you see how things really, people were pulling up in the driveway and trying to do their dope. And I'm like, dude, we have a home.
Yeah.
Get out of my driveway.
We're raising kids on
Yeah.
this road. You don't
Get out of my
pull-
driveway.
This ain't the end of the road to smoke your weed or
Right.
whatever. This is a place. We got kids here.
Yeah,
This is
Man, they've been up there parking in our yard, and we'd had to go out there and all the heat all over the windows. Get up out of my yard.
yeah.
No
Run 'em
clothes
off.
on. You know, it's just that. It
And
was
when you
just
call
that
the
kind of place
law,
at
what
first.
happens? You call the law.
No,
Tell
we
them
never
what-
did have to call the law.
Okay, they ran off on their own.
Yeah,
right?
well, when you tap that car that hard and you're in the middle of a dark spot like that, you know, they
That's
leave
kind of a
real quick
dangerous.
to get it off.
See, look
Yeah.
at her. She's ready to roll, ain't she? You mentioned something just a minute ago, but you said you could feel it on that road.
The air,
What do you feel?
sadness.
Okay.
I feel depression, just the pressure of depression.
Okay.
There's a lot of sadness
Now,
down there.
I'm gonna mention something that it might be a little shocker. You have a lot of Indian heritage,
We do.
and do you think that makes you more sensitive to
No,
changes
I
or
think
yeah?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know how to approach that.
And I
Only because of what I haven't.
I didn't mean to catch you off guard, but
Only
But-
because of what I have proof of. Most people would tell me I'm crazy, but I did think I was going crazy there for a while. But I have the proof, and now I know.
Mhm.
So when you have footage on cameras that you can't fix,
okay.
it's just there. And there is a lot of presence and a lot of heaviness and a lot of sadness and a lot of ghost.
Mm-hmm. Like a haunting.
I don't think not necessarily. I think it's maybe just spirits that don't know where to go or what to do, and I don't know what to do for them. No, not a lot of people can see ghosts. They're there, and I can see them.
Yeah.
My camera can see them, so I know I'm not crazy. And I just
some sort of activity or something.
Oh yeah,
you live on that road now. Okay, yeah. So what else has changed since the issue with Carl? What about you, Bridget?
A lot of the people up at the States, most of those guys are gone now. I think a lot of them have died off.
Cancer.
Yeah.
You know, karma's a bitch, ain't it? Just saying.
I knew you'd bring some laughter.
Oh, my goodness.
In the midst of all this,
Yeah,
Michelle.
do I feel bad?
Laughter.
No,
Hey,
I
I'm
do
going to
not.
ring the bell on some laughter a little bit.
Well, I tell you,
she said, I'm going to quote her, she said, karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
That's what she said. It is, isn't it?
Look, and I was telling you, don't cuss, because
So there's a little bit of justice, right?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Not fast enough.
Not fast enough.
Not fast enough. We need.
It does make you feel better when you can cuss, though.
Oh, yeah, it's all right. There's some things worth cussing about. There's some things only a few cuss
I told her, I
words.
said, the first thing I have to do is apologize to her.
You're fine, Michelle. You don't have to apologize for anything.
Because I know I'm going to be throwing cuss words out there.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It's
I appreciate you
it's a hard
being
place
here.
to live now.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hard place to live. She tries to stay. She tries to skip a doodle and stay gone a lot, but she's gonna have to come home here soon.
That's right. That's right. So, what about how have things changed for you, Bridget? Because I just remember, just meeting you and just back then she had this dark Indian, hair, and you could see the features and just a beautiful, Indian heritage that she has.
It'll definitely age you.
Yeah.
All the stress. It has been stressful. I feel like that the guys, those two older men were our backbones, and I feel like that when you have such tragedies, they make you weak in some sort of way. And like Michelle's, I can stand up for her. Mm-hmm. My dad's, it's hard for me to stand. It's not hard for me to stand. I will stand, and I stand firm, but it's hard for me because it's very raw. Where Uncle Carl's raw to me, but that's not my dad. That's my uncle. It's rawer to her than it is to me.
But you stood with Michelle.
Yes, and I'll always stand with Michelle.
You'll stand with Michelle, and Michelle can stand with you. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times we can't fight our own battles. Like
it's hard.
It's hard when it's you.
Well, and I think that it's our nature to be some sort of strength, especially when it comes to our family. I'm a protector. I love my family.
You're a fierce protector.
And I'll tell you, it's changed a lot when it comes to it's broke my family apart. All this, it started with Uncle Carl, and it just broke, and it hasn't stopped breaking.
And you said even your daughter is out trying to.
She's come a long way. She's really trying.
She's been in some circles that you wouldn't have her in. Probably trying to.
No, I would not.
Trying to investigate when she may not be in the safest circles.
No, she's not. And the thing is she'll stand up right now and she'll say, "Put my name out there. I don't care what they think. I know what they said, and this is what they said, and this is what they do. Tell them to get up and go do something about it."
Right.
So, and that's the kind of attitude she's got,
I wonder where she got that from.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know where she got that from.
I do not know.
I would put y'all on fighting for people any day. Y'all
well, I tell
fierce
you, it's
women,
hard.
Fierce women right here at this table.
As far as being changed down there, it's made me want to leave there. It's made me, I always knew I didn't want to live down there on that hill, but I bought that because Uncle Carl come up missing. I did not want anything happening to my dad.
Oh.
Of course it did.
So then you wanted to protect your dad.
Right, I did want to protect my dad. I wanted to make sure.
Because you didn't know, and I remember this, after we lost Uncle Carl, then it was like, well, if these people possibly did something to Uncle Carl, then we're all easy pickings,
right. Yeah, and you got to wonder if you're out here planting your tomato plants, if somebody's going to walk up in the woods behind you and put a bullet in your head. And the thing is
I wish they'd come to my door.
I don't feel like this as much anymore.
She's ready.
Oh, man, I'm just telling you right now. It's awful.
Mm-hmm.
I fight it every day.
It is. It's a hard place to live.
Yeah. After
so
this.
I'm surprised you came back, but you said you came back because you felt a need to protect your father. Because
We were living
and
in-
as you're
And
as
we're
you're
protecting him over somebody else, and then somebody
Yeah.
else does something. You know,
As-
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
you know, we lost Uncle Carl, then you don't ever want to be. I'm not trying
No,
to be.
I don't want to be in those shoes.
I would never want to be in the position Michelle's
No,
in.
I
wouldn't
never
want
did.
anybody to
And
be
Ma-
in, but
And
But I
Bridget
am.
would never want to be in that position.
Mm.
And the only real difference, honestly, is that you've had a funeral
Yes.
and you haven't. Are there any other
I got a
differences?
double
I missed?
headstone if there were my mom and my daddy's name on it, and can't put my daddy where it to
Yeah.
rest.
Yep.
Well,
You know, the only
I'm-
person that's up there is my mom.
And, you know, it's hard. I'll go up there and clean those headstones and stuff, and I look right there, and I'll leave flowers on there, you know, and my whole thought is he'll be with you one day.
Mhm.
To his wife, he'll be there
You
with you. one
speak
day.
it, and hopefully,
You know.
and we're praying about it, and we're speaking about it, and so even today, you guys, this is the only case you're working. You know, Melissa Debar's working. I don't even know how many cases at one
Yeah,
time.
I can't imagine.
But this is
You're
your
a go-getter.
This is your case. You know what I mean?
Right.
If and the county police or the sheriff's department where you live, they've got a lot of cases.
Sure.
And of course, even with the new sheriff coming in, he would like to just start a clean slate. But here he's got these cold case files or these, you know.
You
so
know, I can't even start to speculate.
am I
because
giving
we've
him too
just
much grace? Yeah.
We've just been
County didn't have no
told.
kind of murder cases.
We've been told so much BS,
when
you
mom
know,
and dad
and
come up
sick of it.
gone.
Yeah.
I'm very sick of it.
Mhm.
You throw my evidence away that I handed over to you.
Okay.
Not cool.
No.
That is so not right.
No. Mishandling of
Yeah,
evidence.
and then you're taking stuff that belonged to a person that died, that was killed tragically, and you're letting him put the money on his books at that jailhouse to eat his Snickers bar and buy him a pair of underwear. Who does this?
Okay.
Who does that?
Okay.
That's not normal. Which was that sheriff's department was different than the sheriff department today.
Okay.
May I say that just
Sure.
to make sure that
Sure.
I'm correct here? But human beings, you know, and
That's
your
right.
sheriff, when you work at the sheriff's department, you're supposed to be protecting your people.
Okay.
These are your people. You have to, when you get this job, this is what you're entitled to do. And that is to protect your people. They didn't protect any of our family. They did not protect Uncle Carl. They didn't get us any kind of justice. So where do we feel safe?
Yeah.
You know, you can make a phone call, well, such and such, I need somebody to come out. It's 45 minutes to an hour and a half before they even get there.
So even if he would have called the law, they may or may not show up.
May not.
Y'all
No,
are
they might.
touching on something that I'm familiar with, and you know, years ago, is response times on police officers. It matters where you do crimes. It matters about the jurisdiction, because we've even touched on this so far that if this would have happened in DeSoto County, it would have been a different response.
It would probably
If
have
we had
been
money, it would have
resolved.
probably been a different
It
response.
would have been a different response because of where the crime took place.
Right.
And there's also a response times, but
Right.
there's also resources.
Right.
You have
We didn't have many resources.
we didn't have a lot
And
of
then
resources.
they were rivals. DeSoto County and Tate County were rivals. So there was this thing, I'm not calling them because we don't need DeSoto County. Yeah, we need DeSoto County in here because we need those helicopters looking for somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
and
and
I
this
asked
was-
if they
and they
would bring
wouldn't do it.
DeSoto County in there, and they told me no.
And that was early in the investigation.
Very
That's
early.
at the
even,
beginning of it.
even
And then
though-
they finally come in after, I think, a couple of weeks or something. I want to say, I can't remember the exact days, but yeah, they finally let him come in there and do another search. He's
With
not here
dogs.
on
What
our
is that?
land. We knew he wasn't on our land.
They
You
didn't help on the
searched him.
case. They didn't question nobody. All they done was brought dogs in.
Yeah,
Did y'all even have dogs to start with?
no. They didn't have any dogs. They called a guy from DeSoto County, and they had him come in.
Okay.
And I'm not sure where the guy lived, but they had him come in with a couple of dogs, and the dogs stopped right there in the middle of the road, right there on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a hill that goes down real
Right,
deep, and then comes
right.
back up, and right down and right in the center of where
That's where it stopped.
that hill comes down to the bottom is where those dogs stopped at. So they put him in a vehicle. He's not there.
And then scent's gone.
And then,
So-
and then, you know, accusations after accusations after accusations. Yeah, we're making accusations because we need to get to the bottom of this. You're not questioning anybody. then we will.
You're having to do your own investigation.
Right.
We might as well be.
Which caused me to almost go to jail for fighting. Yes, I'm a hothead. I can be a hothead. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But, spit on me, you get a black eye. And that's just, and it had came to that, to the fighting part of, not with just me, my brother, with one of their kids or sons or whatever. And, he rides by on a four-wheeler and the guy hits him with a baseball bat. And so,
These are people that are connected with the
alleged
defendants, and so that we've kind of got a rivalry between the families of
where Uncle Carl was at,
and
from the time when Uncle Carl come up missing to the time now, my mind has really went way over here away from them. I know they may know what happened, and I do think that they know what happened. I don't think
somebody knows,
but
they do.
To the ones that done it, they're not the ones that done it. Not in a million years will I think nowadays that they're the ones that done it, because these guys, there's too much information that from different people that boils to be the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all coming out the same.
All roads lead to the same person, or all the connect the dots.
Yeah, and then they had the one guy's truck that apparently was mentioned in it, and they sent it to forensics. Nothing come out of that. Nothing come out of that.
I don't think they done it.
He just roams around, just living his thug life.
Still doing whatever. And getting away with possibly, maybe.
Yeah, and then there's another one that lives right up the road, and I stop and I ask him, he's changing the tire, and I said, why don't you go over here and get a lie detector test done? Well, I can't do that. I got warrants. I'll pay your warrants.
Yeah.
You go over here and take a lie detector test because I know you had something to do with it.
Yeah.
That's where the SD card come from. It's from his house.
Okay.
So, but he wouldn't go over and take a lie detector test. Well, I'm on drugs. Well, get off of them for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Go take a lie detector test.
He's the one that you're saying is...
He was a helper. He was just a helper, though.
He was there.
I think that he became involved after the fact.
Yeah. Accessory after the fact. So we have people that we have...
Well, he tore every bit of carpet out of his house and painted and bleached everything, and they ain't never lived a clean day in their life. I mean, come on. There's something going on there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And a couple places have burned down. So you have to stop and really
the evidence
think.
may be there. So
yeah.
And you guys really shouldn't have to be doing all the investigation.
No, it's hard.
No.
It's very hard to hear. That's why I told her, I said, I'm not fixing to go in here and tell, and because there's things that I will never let you hear. And I won't, because we don't know. If they were fact, that's like my daddy. I wouldn't tell my daddy everything, because if it's not a fact, I don't want you to have that in your head.
Yeah.
I'm already having to deal with it. It's hard enough to be his daughter. Would be way hard. It's just tremendous.
You shouldn't have this on your. You shouldn't have this on.
That's
you.
like my daughter having to put on in the heat now when she went and found this bone, because she's a go getter too. She'll, if she hears somebody say something, she's going to probably try to go to the source.
Yeah.
So she went to the source and she dug, and she dug, and she called me when she was digging. I said, Jamie, please don't get yourself hurt.
Yeah.
And she till this day will go dig if she's got to.
Yeah,
if she hears something,
any kind of information, she's going.
She's going to go dig.
She don't care. She's resolved that she may have to die. She may have to die to get it, and sometimes there's the risk of death, but there's also the toil, the toll that it takes on your heart,
right?
Your mind.
And there's this guy that I think that was. I don't think that he was involved in the very beginning, but I think they were all buddies, and he become either involved or knowing of the source of everything at a later date. So he had something to do with the aftermath of it. But every store I'd go to, he'd be there. Hey, Bridget. And I was in Walmart, and I was like, what did you follow me? What did you have to do with Uncle Carl? Why do you keep showing up at every store I pull in? So, and I don't know if he was watching me to see where I was going or what I was doing, because he knew that I was the only one kind of checking on this case too, though. Why are you following me? Why are you there?
So was that before your father passed too?
Some of the times that he was at the store, yes.
You've got multiple tragedies, multiple suspicious deaths, or suspicious things going on. It's like, how do these connect together, or do they connect at all?
It's so amazing how there is a way that all of these tragedies, in my head, this is in my head, because I've seen all of it.
These are the three.
Uncle Carl, my niece, and then there's something that is about all of those that are intertwining these cases together for me.
Circles.
Mm-hmm.
Circles.
Just like an attorney, which is Richard Crumb's attorney.
Uh-oh.
So
careful.
There's but there's an affiliation there that I don't like. So you got to stop and ask yourself, how does that all work? For me,
but just
in my head, how does it work in my head? Because it becomes so jumbled, and you can't figure things out, and you have to make yourself get away from every bit of it where you can sit back
take
and
a break
rest
from it.
your mind and yourself to be able to even think about what you need to do next. It takes a lot out of a human being to have to deal with this much tragedy.
Do you think you have PTSD?
Yes,
I'm sure I do.
Does.
You think
I don't. High screams, gunshots. Yeah, they do something to me where guns have never bothered me. But they'll get to shooting. They got like an AK-47 or whatever up the road. People shoot their guns still in the country. They can shoot their guns whenever they want to.
Yeah.
And when they'll go to shooting, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it just makes my whole body will be trembling.
Like guns before that were kind of a positive thing.
Yeah, we would go shoot our guns.
Just like
my
what
sons
we do,
can't. My sons they like their guns. They can't come and shoot guns anymore on our property because it sends me into some kind of
can't take it.
Yeah,
that's PTSD.
And screams. Like kids, if they just have that real high screech, my whole body just clams up and just it's definitely hair raising.
Yeah, it's PTSD. That's what it is.
And I'm sure I do, but I can't let that hold me back.
No.
Because I'm at the point now where I'm mad. I've been sad so much, and I'm still sad, don't get me wrong, but mad, I'm pissed because nobody's doing anything about this at all.
Can you say what the facts are on the case of your niece or not?
I can't.
Can't? Mm-mm. Okay.
No, right. I think that...
but you said there's probably 10 other cases that not these are manual cases.
Those are just
this is just your family.
Yes. I mean, and
your
very
daddy,
close.
Your uncle, and and then there's probably 10 other cases that are kind of all interconnected of tragedies and that sort of thing. Like you said, your Uncle George. Yeah.
And I loved my Uncle George. He was a super cool guy.
And he was murdered too.
He was,
So you didn't even include that, but that was somebody else that, when you stop to think about, how many people do I know that it's been murdered?
And there's a lot. That's just like her.
You have a lot more than I have.
That's like her older
ordinary.
brother. His name is Jerry. He was killed when we were just little girls, but I'll never forget that day. But I think the Staxes also had something to do with that because he was sitting in the bucket of a backhoe and they ran over his head.
They ran over him.
Yeah. And that was just on the road over.
Considered it an accident.
Yeah.
So
which I could understand if they was drinking and doing dope, I could understand that. But now, after this, I'm beginning to think maybe that wasn't an accident.
So it was labeled an accident.
But and about three of his wives has overdosed on heroin.
Yeah, and
all of us,
it's been told that that a couple of them they overdosed them so they would die.
Yeah.
That's just what the stories are.
So there's a lot of
and that's where
overdoses that are suspicious.
That's where when the SD card comes in, who are you protecting?
Yeah.
Because apparently somebody's getting protected here, and that's just the way I feel about that. Because you won't let me hear the SD card.
Let me hear it. Yeah,
let me hear it.
Well, where's the SD card?
We can chop that off real quick.
Yeah,
where is it?
Yeah. So we definitely would love for the investigators, the county, to open this and even declare it a missing persons. It's not declared as anything.
No,
you just have a missing persons poster. Was that issued from the county?
No, that was
that
just
missing?
us.
It's just you're on your own because you're not
on our own.
You don't feel like you're being supported by your county.
No, not at all.
So that's not.
And you get to the point to where is
he registered in the missing persons?
Yes, he is in the
but not because your county
They done a BOLO on him.
Okay. That's the only thing they've ever done officially
that I know of.
Everything else has been family generated.
Any flyers you see, I've made those up online. We had a candlelight vigil when that was back on the road. Remember that? And which my daddy was still living and stuff, and we marched up and down that road. We're planning on having another candlelight vigil in October for Uncle Carl.
Okay.
I would like to do it on his
birthday or the day
That's the
went
day
missing?
Come up missing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just feel like that it needs, something
And
needs to wake them up.
Because when my dad come up missing, the girl in Panola County that got by,
Yeah.
Yes.
she was right after
Jessica
that.
Chambers.
Yes, yeah, Jessica
Mhm.
Chambers.
Okay.
She
So
was
is that
just
one
like-
of the connections?
No, there's
Yeah,
nothing
not
connected there.
connection.
No.
No,
Okay.
but they took, it was so much publicity over that Uncle
Mhm.
Carl's just went on the back burner.
Right.
He's
That's
been
true.
placed on the back burner
That's
big time. And that's where we have trouble with our county.
Yeah.
You've put him on the back. You know what? You at least when you get through this,
Yeah.
then bring him back out.
Bring
We
him
need him
back
to come
out.
back out.
Yeah.
You need to bring him back out. He's a human being.
Yes.
He's not a piece of trash.
Yeah.
And that's just how we feel.
Mhm.
So no, there's no faith there.
I mean,
No.
that's kind of what has always really bothered me about this case is that, Carl was so loved. He's Uncle Carl, and
He's our monkey uncle. That's what we call him, monkey uncle.
And he liked, what is it that he liked to eat? Was it pinto bean? I remember seeing the picture of him with like a vegetable
He
plate.
likes some purple peas with
Purple
potatoes.
peas,
and
potatoes.
Oh,
cornbread.
yeah, he was very he's a good
Cornbread,
person. We
yeah.
always had a big garden.
Yeah.
Man, he was a
huge
great
garden.
person. He would sit
Yes.
under a tree and he could look up and he'd say, climb that limb right there and come on out here on this limb. And by the time he got you to where you were going to go, there's this caterpillar that's bigger than your two fingers put
Yeah.
together. And how he could see those things, it would just amaze me.
Mhm.
He could also be in the dark and you'd be around there sneaking a smoke off your cigarette or whatever. And
he
he'd say,
got you.
I caught you, didn't I?
And I
And
got
you knew you're in trouble now. You got to
Yeah.
go smoking.
Right.
But yeah, he was a cat. He was definitely a cat. He was true.
And he would sneak up on you too. He was quiet about that.
But also just the fact that he's an elderly person
Mm-hmm.
who is, somewhere, and, it's just tragic that a person, of that age and,
It is
he
tragic
needs
and
help.
it's disturbing that
he didn't
that-
just walk off. He
Right,
really
right.
did not. That's not.
And
We should be more concerned for our
I think-
elderly
Yeah,
than
and
that.
I feel like that when all this started, that there was a lot of people looking, sure,
Mhm.
and we so appreciated anybody that helped us
Yeah,
look and do
right.
anything with this case. But when you get to a certain point, they just sit back in their chair and they're done. They're
Mhm.
done with it because the old sheriff department
Mhm.
down there, I have nothing at all
Uh-oh.
for, nothing
Nothing.
for, because of the way they treated this case right here,
Right.
and
And
now I can say that
Possibly
they're getting to that point
mishandled
of
it. Yeah.
this sheriff, they're
Yeah.
getting to the point of where I feel the same way about them too.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Because
They
y'all
already
have
out there
taken
with me.
evidence and you threw it in the garbage. Are you serious?
uh-oh.
Who does
So
that?
So the question
does
we
that?
need a meeting with the sheriff. We
Mhm.
need where are we at with this case?
And
Just
a
be
file.
honest.
I want to see a file and an
Yeah.
SD
What
card.
do you got? What did you inherit? What
So-
do you have?
Yeah,
And then also, what are you going to do next? Is there anything? If you just tell the truth, there's nothing. We don't have.
well, the sad
know,
thing is I have
be
reached out to
honest about
MBI, and MBI hasn't even done anything. What is wrong with this
What-
whole thing here?
Yeah.
And you have to step back and really take a whole big look at this picture and say, nobody's doing nothing. They
Mhm.
don't want to do anything, and that is where we're at.
And if
They're
it
more
could
concentrated
happen,
on the drug dealers and
The trafficking,
sex trafficking.
yeah.
which
in
has a
Clay
lot
County.
to do with this case. Don't get me wrong,
wow.
it does. I think that a lot of the drug use and whatever was going on had a whole lot to do with this case
Mhm.
because that's who done it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
and everybody that has been named and mentioned are drug addicts.
Mm.
But the thing is that's not where you're going to find this.
Mm.
One of them's sitting in prison.
Uh-oh.
Why not do what you need to do?
Okay.
If
He's
he's in
clean.
prison, how
He's
come you ain't
clean.
why don't you go in there and
You won't
lie
lie
to
talk
him?
to him.
Yeah, you
Go
want
talk
lie
to
detector
him.
test to be
Lie to him
passed. Make him take one now.
Mhm.
See how it comes out.
Right.
So if there's somebody that knows something, what could they do to change this case? Go
Speak
to the
up.
sheriff's department.
If anybody knows anything,
send a
speak
tip.
up.
Send a
Don't have to
send
say
a-
your name.
yeah.
Just
tell us
where to
want
go.
answers. Yeah,
Yeah.
show us. Point
If
us
you
in
need
the-
to call me, just
Yeah.
call somebody.
So Bridget and Michelle are both on Facebook, and
I'm under Johnson. My last name is Johnson.
Yep. So we got Bridget Manuel Johnson, and we have Michelle Manuel, and you could send them a little message and say, I'd like to talk, or you could write an anonymous. I'm just throwing out
It would be
ideas.
so. It
just
would
to
be
have
tremendous
some,
gratefulness
Yeah, it
to
would be
someone
truth.
just
that.
grateful.
Yes,
what happened.
Yeah.
the truth.
Because there's
Somebody
a lot of
knows
people.
the
There's a
truth.
lot of people that know
There's
what
a
happened.
lot of people that know
There's
the
a
truth.
quite a
guilty
few.
consciences
Yeah.
somewhere. There are guilty consciences about knowing how could this if this could happen to you, it could happen to
Right.
me.
Anybody.
We would never
And the
thought
thing
it would
is,
happen to any of
yeah.
us.
Who's really sitting next door to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It questions
How
the
close
safety.
are they to me?
Mhm.
Where are they standing at in my community?
Yeah.
Because they're there.
For you guys to be a family that's just, having fun, having the best of,
To this,
Mississippi, you're just enjoying life, and then have this happen. He can't even go walk a little ways down the road and drink coffee with another widow.
Right.
He's a widow, right?
Right.
He was a widow. He was drinking coffee with the widow, and they were just two elderly people.
They had each other for the remainder of their life.
Had somebody to talk to, somebody to,
Yeah.
and that was abruptly ended. But so if somebody knew some information, you could reach out, and you can also, I'm going to share my email address again, but it's debarcares@debarlaw.com. And you could send me an email or send, we definitely would want to know, as far as trust, that we let Bridget and Michelle know that you know something.
Right.
So if you knew something, and some of these cases are eventually solved, and people get guilty consciences, and they want to speak up.
a few of them don't want to call the sheriff because they don't listen anyway.
Yeah.
They're not, no one has a lot of faith in these sheriff's departments now that set everything to the side. Instead of trying to help these addicts, they want to put them in jail. Let's just dog them. Let's do this. Let's do that. Because that's what we're fixated on. Why don't you try to help them?
Okay.
These people need help.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them are not willing to be helped.
Some of them are just mean.
Yeah. But
Right.
there's some that are having to live with a lot of demons too, that don't know what to do, but are still trying to come up out of this hole that they were put in some situations.
Well, a clear conscience on Carl Manuel would be a helpful thing
very much so.
For you to know, for this family. This would be a good thing to do in your sobriety, recovery.
Yes.
If you're out there and you know something about this case, it would be really mean the world to Michelle, and also to Bridget, and also to me. If you get that information, you could send an email to me, or
and Jamie Groves is on Facebook too, and she's willing for anybody to contact her if they know her. I mean, she's willing to take information too if somebody doesn't want to know. Well, okay,
And if you're afraid, if you reach out to me, I'm gonna definitely get in touch with Bridget and try to make an appointment with the sheriff's department,
and try to
let's
protect
see what we can
try
do.
to protect anybody that has information. I don't want anybody getting hurt.
I don't want to hurt you either. But we need some justice.
We do need some justice.
We need some justice for Carl.
We definitely need some justice.
We need some closure, and try to have a few happy years left and all this.
Yeah.
But anything else before we
Thank you
close
so much
out?
for.
Yeah, we
You
appreciate
guys
it.
did awesome. Man, this is the scariest interview I've done so far.
Are you
honestly.
serious?
Yes.
The scariest one?
And I know you know this, but it's hard to, it's like Michelle. She's so beautiful. Look at her, pretty blue eyes. And I've seen, pictures of Carl, and I see, even now.
All in my nose, though.
I don't even, I never got to meet Carl.
Yeah.
But the pictures that I've
He was a
seen,
hoot. Yeah.
I see, I see, even now, I see, layers.
She got
of,
lucky because she got the Crocker nose. I got the manual nose. You see how big this schnauzer is? Come on.
No. Yes.
Skirt line, girl.
You guys are awesome. And I do appreciate your bravery to speak, because even 11 years later, it is extremely raw. And Bridget, oh my gosh, she's a warrior. I mean,
I love my family.
When you get close to Bridget, I'm telling you, it's like,
I'm going to tell you, this one right here, me and her we have been pretty close. We're super, super close when we were really young, and then I moved away. And so we kind of drifted a little bit, but we still have just stayed so close. And
you've had to be close the last 10 years, 11 years.
But I'm going to tell you, there's
You're
nothing that would give
united in
up for my family.
tragedy.
Right.
Yeah.
She's got my back and I got hers.
And I try to let all of them know, unless they try their best to make me just so mad because some of them do, but I still love them. I still love them, and it doesn't matter. You know, I'm a family-oriented person. I love my family. But the thing is when it comes to my elders, I'm going to watch out for them first. The children and
the
my
vulnerable.
elders. Yes, and those are the ones that matter the most to me when it comes to, because they can't defend themselves anymore.
Right.
You know, we have to defend them.
You're fighting.
Yeah.
See, that's why you're on this show. It's because you're fighters. You're fighters. And I appreciate you being here, and I'm thankful to kind of get through this.
I'm proud of you.
I promised you guys, I was afraid of this. I was afraid.
I was worried.
It's like,
I was
am
worried.
Am I going to do a good job with them? And
You did an excellent.
I
you did a
don't
good
want to
job.
hurt you any more than you've
and I
already
don't
been
either,
hurt.
you know, and you've guided us there. So, and we appreciate. We need some voice.
We need some movement. We need some justice.
We need something to happen.
So, what's it going to take to shake it up? And we're not going away.
Right.
How many people have told you to just give up?
No one is. They know better with me.
No, they know.
They don't dare.
Yeah. Don't tell me to give up, because I'm not going to give up.
You're going to dig in harder.
It would make me think, what do you know?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And here's the deal. So we're talking about a fighting spirit. We're talking about an American fight.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we do. Family stands together, which is what you've done. And I'll ring the bell for myself, I guess. We ring the bell because these are things that we need to get back to in America that makes America great.
Right.
And American fight stories, we're all fighting for different things.
Right.
But we ring the bell when we hear things as like, yes, you know. First interview I did with Miss Lorraine Katie, she was talking about work. I was like, I wish I could ring a bell or something. But this whole thing has been a fight.
Yeah.
This whole thing has been an intense fight for justice. You know, this is bigger than being an American. It's a cry that even all the way through the Bible, it talks about a cry that comes up, and there's a cry
and it is straight out of the pit of your stomach.
It is a cry for justice. Even from the first murder in the Bible, the ground cried out, and there was a cry that went up on Goliath Road when Carl disappeared, and there was a cry because we love family and we love who they meant to us as a family, and also to our land and everything that we love. You talked about music. We talked about food and fellowship, and you know, y'all put a picture out of Carl
on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving meal.
I still do.
Y'all still fixed him a plate.
Well, and seeing, I quit doing that because it made everybody sad on the holiday.
It does make them
sad.
sad.
I did. But I have my little pictures.
But Michelle's smiling over here because she loves it.
I love because she's got that big old plate in front of him, knowing he ain't gonna eat all of it.
He'd say
He's
something
too
later.
scrawny. He was a little scrawny, wasn't he?
He was a little scrawny, but he was about 6 foot.
But I still have him and my daddy's pictures out. You know,
that's wonderful.
You know, because right after Daddy, you know, my husband's mother came, and as soon as she got there, she was sick, but hospice brought her in, but it was just so that she did the transition from Alabama to Mississippi, because she really didn't need hospice. But within a week, she was gone.
Oh,
a week. You know, and so I have her little picture up, and I have his daddy up, and so, you know, I mean, I have Morgan's up. I miss these people.
Family you love.
I do.
She loved deeply. It's like the roots in Mississippi are deep, and this love that goes through Mississippi is it's bigger than the Mississippi River itself, right? Just the love and the spirit, the good things about Mississippi, and I'm just gonna tell you, I appreciate you guys being here.
We appreciate you having us.
And I wish we could get some movement on this case. It's always plagued my heart, you know, since I heard it. And so...
Well, I do want everybody to get ready for a candlelight vigil, because we're going to have one in October. We're fixing to start making our signs. We were supposed to have it a while back, but some things had happened, and we couldn't. But I'm ready in October. Well, nothing will stand in that way.
I apprate it. I love y'all.
These girls are going to have to get down there and help me make posters, though.
That's right. You guys are fighters. You're so awesome. I'm going to pray again. I don't usually pray twice, but I thank you for this day. I thank you for these women, these warriors. I thank you for a strong fighting spirit. I don't know the answers to this question about where's Carl and about justice, but I know you know the answers, Lord. And I know that there is a cry that comes up because of his loss. I ask that you would heal this family and help restore a sense of justice, not only for them, but everybody who knows about this story and about this tragedy. It's not just a story, it's not just a news story, but it is a tragedy that happens so often, too often, to families, good families. And I ask that you would help the local sheriff's department with resources and just light a fire within them to do the right thing for Carl Manuel and this family. And I ask that if anyone has information, that they would bring that forth to help this family in moving on and grieving, and just that people would still do the right thing. We ask this in your name. We ask that you bless the Manuel family. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
And I'd like to, again, thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to American Fight Stories with Debar. And we are, again, challenging all Americans to be better Americans. If you know anything about this case, if you know any information, old information, new information, get that to us. Let us give it to us. We
Can
need
I give
some
my
justice.
email too?
Yes.
In case somebody doesn't have Facebook.
Sure.
Mine is Bridget 5309. That's BRIDGETT 5309 @gmail.com.
Okay.
And anyone can email me, and that way I look at my email more than I do Facebook.
Good. Okay, that's good. We appreciate. We'll post that, I think, probably on the, like on the letterhead or something, or on the tagline. But you can find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Please rate, subscribe, review. Email us at debarcares@debarlaw.com. And thank you very much, and have a great day.